Hi everybody. Okay, so this time I'm not gonna be beating a challenge in FNAF like in real time. I already beat it. This is like I don't know, like kind of a developer commentary you could call it. It's like I screen recorded everything, I locally recorded, I didn't stream it. And since I couldn't record my microphone during it, I'm just gonna go like talk a little bit of what I'm doing. Like a post-game commentary or something like that. Yeah, this is FNAF AR DLC called Dark Circus Encore. And as you can see, this is not my first time playing it. I actually played it before. This is actually my second time playing it, because the first time that I played it, I actually got a little like too mad and I just like kind of rage quit. Yeah, so long. I'm gonna try to explain like basically what it is. So it's FNAF augmented reality. You are in a dark circus, or like inside like a warehouse. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But yeah, you're put inside this like maze-like house, and you have to go around and search for clues. Because around the house there are a lot of like puzzles you have to solve, and in order to solve them, you have to look for clues that are scattered all around the house. Yes, you saw that at the start there were like there was like a paper with numbers on the wall. That's a clue. Every single thing that has numbers or symbols or anything is important to solving like all of the puzzles in the house. So it's important that we need to explore literally every corner of this place and find every single thing that could possibly be a clue. See, I'm just kind of looking around, and then there are those flashes. I still don't really know what those flashes are exactly. I think I don't know. Maybe they're just bugs or something like that. 'Cause, like from what I saw, it doesn't seem like they are like too useful or something. Yeah, see, in this part of the house, there's like an endoskeleton with a paper on the back. Oh yeah, I should say that every time you play this, or like you replay this from the start, all of the places where the clues are get randomized, and the clues also get randomized. So you are never gonna get the same clues in the same places every time you replay the game, which I mean, yeah, it makes it more interesting. See, we're just kind of looking around. You know, there's some bottles in here. Yeah, you see that thing on the wall that has like a timer? Yeah, that's the first puzzle. Yeah, so far I think I only found the three numbers that were on the wall at like the spawn point or close to the spawn point. There's another part. Look, that thing on the wall, that's pretty interesting. Oh, there's like a head of a clown Chica, clown Springtrap, clown Boy Bonnie, I'm pretty sure. And a clown Freddy. Some bottles, but yeah, you need to pay attention to every single little thing in here. Man, something that I also wanted to say is that the movement in this particular DLC feels a little bit clunky. Like, it could be worse, but it's also not the best. Because the way you move in here is that you have to click the screen to move whichever direction you're facing. Like, because you know, you look around moving your phone screen, and then in order to move, you have to click the screen, and then the character like moves forward to where they're facing. I don't know, it's because it's a little weird, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is actually true, but I think in order to stop, you have to click the screen again. I don't know if that's actually what it is, or if the character just never stops until it hits like a wall or something. I think it would have been better if for movement you had to kind of like a D-pad or a stick, and you know, to move everywhere you want, you just could move the stick wherever you want to move to. Yeah, like I said, it's not like terrible. You know, there's Valora there with the main arenas. It's not terrible. It's not like absolute garbage or anything like that, but it can feel a little bit scuffed at times. Especially when you're playing it for the first time and you have like no idea how to move or how to do anything. That's when it can get like a little bit annoying. But, you know, once you get used to it, it's really not that bad. Yeah, oh, and you see that section over there with like the pink ball? I don't know what it is. But there's usually, or at least the last time I played it, there were like a couple clues in there, but this time there weren't any. Like I said, we just have to look around, spend a lot of time. Oh, and you saw that in one of those puzzles, there was like a timer on top of it. Yeah, if that timer goes to 0, you get jump scared and you have to start all the way from the beginning. And look, there's the other clue, which is a number written on the paper on the wall. Yeah, this is actually really funny because the way like that number that we saw on the wall, which is the first clue, it was an 8. But the way the number is faded, it makes it almost look like a 3. So yeah, you're gonna see here. Yeah, I put the 3. It was wrong, and I got jump scared by Laura. Yeah, at this point I was like, what the frick? What was that? Because I was sure that I had seen a 3 there, but it was actually an 8. Just at the left part of the 8, it was kind of faded and it almost made it look like a 3. Because I didn't know, or I hadn't noticed that in this game the 3s are actually written like way different than the 8s. Because the 3s have like a horizontal line on top of them instead of like 2 balls. Yeah, I didn't notice, and I spent like, like 10 minutes or something. Well, not too much. But I spent quite a bit of time trying to solve the puzzle because I somehow didn't notice that it was a freaking 8 instead of a 3. But I assure you, this will never happen again. Mainly because I will never play the DLC again, but whatever. Yeah, and then I put 2 side. Oh, at this point, I don't know if I found the second clue already. Like, okay, yeah, so there are 4 clues in total. One that has 1 number, one that has 2 numbers, one that has 3 numbers, and the last one that has 4 numbers. So yeah, you see there. Okay, tell me that does not look like a 3, please. Tell me that does not look like a 3. Yeah, I spent way too long on this. And then eventually, I never noticed. I actually never noticed until after I solved the puzzle. Like, after trying a bunch of things, I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna put every single number from 8 to 9. I mean, from 1 to 9 until I get the correct one, because this is kind of stupid. It was only after I cleared it that I was like, oh, that was not an 8, that was a 3. Yeah, also there's Foxy there, just chilling. Yeah, I tried the 3 and nothing happens. At this point, I thought like the game was like glitched or something. That the clue was actually wrong. No, it was actually me, the one who was wrong. That's just stuff that sometimes happens. We can't really do much about it. Yeah, this is the part where I just tried every single number from 1 to 9 until I get the correct one. So I think we can just like skip this part. Skip this part. Yeah, and every time I tried it, I got jump scared by Ballora over and over. Yeah, this is the part where I tried the 8 finally. And it was actually correct. Oh yeah, and every time you solve one of these puzzles... okay, yeah, so I already found the other clue, which was 1, 3. And I already found the third clue as well, which was 3 to 3, I'm pretty sure? 3, 1, 3. Never mind. It was actually not 3, 1, 3, because guess what? That 3 at the start was actually not a 3. It was an 8. And it was at this point I was like, oh, so the other 3 was an 8. Oh, I know. Yeah. That's when realization hits. Put the code 1, 2, 1, 8, 1, 3. Yeah, every time you solve one of these puzzles, Foxy, like when you solve the first puzzle, Foxy becomes active, and when the more puzzles you solve, the more aggressive Foxy becomes. So yeah, those like clanking sounds of chains and everything, that's Foxy moving. Yeah, and there's also something inside that glass cage that you're gonna see in just a little bit later. Yeah, we're just looking here in the section where there are like endoskeletons laying around on the floor and some tools on the wall. It's really weird. This is a really creepy place. Because this is technically not the circus. If we look out the window, the circus is like outside. This is just like a warehouse or something. Ware fun house. Yeah, here's something that I remembered from my first time playing this, is that I spent like 10 minutes trying to find the final clue and I could never find it. It was actually behind a briefcase that I have never noticed. I mean, or like I noticed it, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. I was like, I'm gonna check that briefcase again just in case there's a clue behind it. Yeah, there's Foxy screaming and moving all over the place. Yeah, he can hurt us, at least for now. We just safely approach him with no danger. Here we just keep moving around, looking for clues on the puddles, on the crates, and the things. Yeah, you see how those bottles have like colorful symbols in them? That's gonna be important. But for now, we're just gonna focus on finding the numbers. Oh yeah, well this is what happens if the timer hits 0, Valora kills you. Yeah, there's the briefcase that I was talking about. Yeah, you look behind it. Oh, surprise, surprise! There's actually the final clue behind it. Who would have thought, right? Yeah, good thing there was a clue behind the briefcase on my first playthrough, because otherwise, I don't think I would have thought. It turns out the hard part was not actually finding the clue, but actually putting the freaking number in here. Because I don't know how it works. You move that little wheel thing for one number, and then those two arrows to move from left to right. That D-pad like changes the number you're moving, and if you put it up, it moves a number, and if you put it left to right, it changes the number. I have no clue. I have no clue how this works. I'm just kinda clicking everything around until I get the number I want. I have no idea how this works. You can see a little bit of my struggling there. Oh, meanwhile I'm struggling with this box, is making his weird sounds. I was also like under the pressure. Oh yeah, every time that you die, by the time I'm gonna stay with later. See, the puzzle has been solved, and this is where Foxy actually wakes up and becomes like aggressive. And this is where we need to encounter him. This is just a standard Foxy encounter. Yeah, honestly, Foxy is really easy. And just like normally, you have to like use your flashlight to know where he is, and when you see static, that's where Foxy is. You have to look around, and that's called haywire. Like when he becomes like twitchy and the screen becomes glitchy, you have to look away from him, or else he will jump scare you. You have to look for his static, and with the flashlight, it's much easier to see the static. Of course, the flashlight doesn't matter. So once he comes running at you, just shock him, and there he goes. Okay, so that's for the first part, the Foxy part. Now comes the second part, which is the Valora part. Oh, wait, what was I saying before? Oh, yeah, you see, now Foxy is deactivated. Yeah, I was saying that, the standard animatronic counter, you have to look around and you have to look for static. And you can see the static easier if you use your flashlight. You just have to be careful not to use it too much, or else your battery will drain. Yeah, when you see the static, like, it's very visible and very loud. That's why you have to wear headphones to make this game like easier. Yeah, once you see this, oh, hi Snow, hi, hello, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm just commenting on the FNAF AR playthrough that I did last night. Man, I stayed up until like 5 a.m. trying to do this. Crap. Doing pretty good? Nice, I'm doing pretty good as well. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad to see you here. What was I saying? But yeah, once the static becomes loud, you just have to stay there and wait for Foxy to come running at you to decloak, and they just shock him. Yeah, the bad thing is that if you run out of battery for using your flashlight too much, you won't have enough battery to use your shocker, and you won't be able to kill him. So yeah, that sucks. Yeah, there on this Valora part, you see those symbols on the bottles right there? Those symbols are actually clues too, because for the second part of the puzzle, we're gonna need those symbols in order to look. You know, it's kind of funny because in the first part, yeah, there's 4 clues in total. There's 1 clue with 2 bottles, 1 clue... Well, it's not necessarily bottles. Sometimes the symbols can appear on balls as well. So it's like 1 clue with 2 symbols, another clue with 3 symbols, and then 2 clues with 4 symbols total. And for some reason here, I just couldn't look... Oh yeah, and that thing that's inside the glass cage, now it has waken up. Yeah, it was kind of funny because here I actually didn't find the 2 bottles. I spent like 10 minutes. I had found every single clue already, but I just couldn't find the freaking 2 bottles. So you see there's the 4 bottles there. And then close to the other puzzle, there were the 3 bottles and the 4 bottles. They were pretty close together. The second set of 4 bottles, but I somehow just couldn't find the 2 bottles. I spent like 5 minutes, you know, just looking around, trying to find it, but nope, they were nowhere to be found. I'm just gonna wait until I get to the part where the bottles are. You see, there's the second set of 4 bottles, and there's the set of 3 bottles. This way I had just kind of given up. So you know what, let's try. There's just 2 possible combinations. There's no way I get it wrong. Yeah, I got it right first try. See, I kind of went a little back to watch the symbols. There's the street drop, lightning, and triangle. Yeah, and for which set of 4 bottles you have to use first, it's obviously depending on the symbols. See, there's diamond, star, pentagon, and lightning. But surprise, those are not the symbols that I was supposed to use. So time to go back to where the first set of 4 bottles was. So now, if there's something that I'm very bad at, I have bad orientation and I also have bad memory. So I couldn't remember what the symbols of the first bottle were, or like the position of them, and I also didn't remember where the freaking set of 4 bottles was. So I just had to kind of look around all over the place to find where the heck they were. I think I can just kind of fast forward this part. There's like nothing interesting to see. It's just me looking for the freaking bottles. Kind of like around here. Yeah, so the bottles were lightning, diamond, eyeball, and triangle. Let's check. Yeah, those sounds are also Valora. She also becomes active the more puzzles you solve. And there it is. Diamond, star, pentagon, and lightning. Now before activating the second encounter, like you see how the puzzle has like lights and symbols over it? Those symbols are also a clue. So now the puzzle that was not accessible before because Foxy was blocking it, now it's accessible. This one only requires 1 clue, which is that 1 clue. Just have to put the symbols in the order they were. Triangle, eyeball, heart. And teardrop. Once I'm done with that, I need to just go to Ballora to activate her encounter. Which again, I had bad orientation, so I couldn't remember where the frick Ballora was. Okay, just give me some time, and I will get to her. Just be patient with me. You know, I have bad orientation, but the movement in this game also doesn't really help because it's really clunky and it's really hard to move where you want to move to. And her encounter is actually a little... well, not a little, it's very different from the Foxy. Every time you see the Ballora meter that's on the left, you need to be careful to not raise it up until the very top. Let's say if you're like moving to the left and the meter is rising, you have to move to the right and vice versa. Like, yeah, every time you see those meterinas climbing up the screen, you have to shake your phone to make them fall off. But shaking your phone too much will make your meter rise up. And if your meter rises up, that's like an immediate jump scare from Ballora. You have to manage a lot of things. Yeah, you see the thing I picked up there? Like, every time you will hear like a metallic clank, that means like a piece of a meterina falls off and you have to pick it up. I don't know if you have a time limit to picking up the pieces, I'm guessing you do. But like, I'm not too sure. You see, every time the Ballora meter rises up, you have to like stay still. Okay, that's a fake out, don't pay attention to it. Yeah, once you pick up 3 pieces, you just have to wait for Ballora to come at you and she will get chunked automatically. Oh boy, and this is the worst part of the run. Or like all of DLC. Yeah, oh my goodness, it's lagging and everything somehow. Like, I don't even know how to explain. Well, first I'm gonna wait for the cutscene. Yeah, there it is. So that's Great Escape Golden Freddy. He's the final boss of the DLC, and it's also the hardest, most frustrating thing in all of the game. Like, I would even say this boss is harder than the 420 mode in Final Fantasy Freddy's 1. And I'm not exaggerating. I wish I was exaggerating, but sadly I'm not. So let me explain how this guy works. So, Great Escape Golden Freddy can imitate 5 animatronics. He can imitate Freddy, Toy Freddy, Springtrap, Mangle, and Ballora. When he imitates Freddy, you just have to do the standard animatronic encounter. You know, you have to look for the static, use your flashlight if you have to, and once you see him coming running at you, you just have to wait for him to decloak and then chomp him. When he imitates Toy Freddy, it's basically the same as Freddy, but you will hear like a beeping sound, like a buzzing sound, and when you hear it, you have to put the mask on, that mask on that you have right there, or else it will drain your battery. And it does it quick. It drains your battery really, really quick. And when he imitates Springtrap, the static is very hard to see. You pretty much have to use your flashlight. And as you can see, if you have static on your screen, you have to shake your phone in order to make the static go up. When he imitates Springtrap, is like almost the same as Freddy, but you have to use your flashlight to see his static because it's very hard to see. And he will go haywire pretty often. But it's different because, you know, when Foxy goes haywire, you just have to look away from him to not die. But when he goes haywiring when imitating Springtrap, you have to keep looking at him while his eyes are white, and when his eyes start to turn red, you have to look away from him. And sometimes his eyes will turn red immediately, and sometimes they will stay white all the time. And if you don't look at him, you will die. There's me dying. And when he decloses, you have to shock him. When he imitates Ballora, the Ballora meters will become active. You just have to do the same thing as Ballora. Like every time he will drop a piece. But the thing with Golden Freddy when imitating Ballora is that sometimes the mini arenas that climb up your screen, they will be invisible for some reason. I don't know if that's a feature or it's like a glitch or something. I have no idea why it works like that. It just does. If you see your meter go up and there's nothing on your screen, well, maybe if you feel like rumbling, that could also mean the mini arenas are climbing up. Yeah, just like last time, you just have to shake your phone until they fall off and just do a normal encounter. Every certain amount of time, Golden Freddy will drop a piece of him. Just have to pick it up. You have to pick 3 pieces up. And after you pick the 3rd piece up, you have to look at him when he comes charging at you, and he will get shot automatically. And finally, when he imitates Mangle, I'm not sure how the Mangle encounter works, but it's very similar to the Ballora one. The difference is, apart from the mini arenas not climbing and the noise meters like not being active, after you pick up 1 piece, you have to look at Golden Freddy when he comes at you, and also put your mask on. I don't think you have to shock him. I think you have to put your mask. And if you try to shock him, you might get jump scared. Like, don't take my word for that, because I'm not certain if that's how it works. So yeah, those are the 5 animatronics Golden Freddy can imitate. He does 3 faces total. Every face he imitates 1 different animatronic. He cannot imitate 2 animatronics more than once in the same encounter, so that's helpful. And now, as for how to determine which animatronic Golden Freddy is imitating, well, first off, when the encounter begins, you hear like very fast footsteps. That means he's either imitating Ballora or Mangle. Like, to determine which one of the 2, check the Ballora meters, because you have 3 sets of tools that you can use here. There's this one with the shocker and the mask, there's another one with the flashlight, and there's another one with the Ballora meters and the battery percentage. If you hear fast footsteps, you have to check on the Ballora meters. If the Ballora meters are active, it means he's imitating Ballora. If they're not active, it means he's imitating Mangle. Now, if you hear slow footsteps, he could imitate either Freddy, or Springtrap. If the static is like very difficult to see, if it's like very low static, that probably means he's imitating Springtrap. And if you see him go haywiring, that guarantees that he's imitating Springtrap, because Springtrap is the only animatronic that can go haywiring on this phase. You see, he went haywire and killed me like a millisecond after. That's so unfair. Then another one for the slow footsteps. If you start hearing the beeping sound and you have to put the mask on for it to go away, that means he's imitating Toy Freddy. And if no haywiring happens or no beeping sound happens, that means he's imitating Freddy. Yeah, about the footsteps, you can only use the footsteps to know which animatronic he's imitating on the first encounter. Because on the 2nd and 3rd phase, he will always do the same footsteps that he did on the first phase, no matter what. I think that's everything. Every time you shock him, there will be static saying like it's me all over the screen and everything. Oh yeah, I think on the Ballora meters, no, on the flashlight section, it also has a timer for picking up the next piece when you're playing, like when he's imitating Mangle. Okay. Yeah, the thing is, this panel is so frustrating. Like, it's very poorly explained. And like most of the times you lose, you either have no idea what you did wrong, and there's no way like to tell what how do you die or what do you die. Yeah, and it could get very frustrating because if you can get like two easy encounters, and then the third one you get a hard one and you die because you didn't look at him at the exact millisecond you had to, or you looked away like a millisecond too later. So yeah, during this whole encounter you have to be perfect. You have to do everything perfectly. Everything is so freaking precise. Like that, I have no idea what just happened there. I just died for no reason. Because it also doesn't explain to you how to like make the valorimeter go down. Yeah, what else is there to say? I was gonna say things, but I forgot. Let me remember. Well, no, I think that's everything I want to say. Like, this battle is extremely frustrating. It's very difficult. I took like almost an hour beating it, but it felt way more than an hour. Like, way more. And this was my second time trying it, because the first time I tried it for like 40 minutes, I'm pretty sure, but I ended up rage quitting because I got way too frustrated. But this time I was determined to do it. And also it gets unfair because you have sometimes like times where you have to put the mask on and shock him at the same time if you don't have enough time. And sometimes the screen will have a static all around the place and you have to shock him at the same time. Or the screen will have static and Golden Freddy will go haywiring at the same time. So you have to manage both of those at once. And it's really frustrating. Yeah, like I said, when he imitates Toy Freddy with the beeping sound, your battery percentage will drain very quickly. So if you get Toy Freddy like on the first phase, you might end up on 30% battery and you won't have enough battery to even shock him again. It's a really annoying boss fight. It's so inconsistent. Way too inconsistent. Like you see on the first phase, I did the first phase where he imitated Golden Freddy and I only have 30% of battery. Like even if I make it to the third phase and I look at him, I'm not gonna be able to win because I won't be able to shock him. So I don't have enough battery for that. But yeah, I swear, I'm pretty sure I've never felt. I wish you could see my, like you could hear my voice while doing this because I was extremely frustrated. I wanted to scream so bad. That my head almost started to hurt from the stress playing this You see, I have 0%. So even if I do everything perfectly on the third phase, I'm not gonna be able to win. So yeah, it is very recommended that you have like some battery power-ups when you go into this battle, but they are very limited. So if you like waste all of the battery powers in one encounter that you didn't even like came close to winning, then you may have to get on the next one. Yeah, but I'd say the main difficulty came because I didn't really know what I was doing. It was kind of just doing trial and error. Like, if you know what to do, if you know what to expect, I guess you will have an easier time with this, but I'm never, ever playing this again. It's literally one of the most frustrating experiences I've had in my entire life. Not as much as the FNAF 21020 mode, obviously. I would say this is like as hard if not harder than Final Fantasy Freddy's 4 2020. This is insanity. Okay, I started the encounter. I have less than 5% of the battery, so whatever. I just wanted to restart. Not this time. I'm just gonna skip because yeah, this video is, let me see how long it is. It's 34 minutes long. It's extremely long. See, I'm just gonna skip right to the part where I beat him. Which I think is like around here. Oh yeah, something I also forgot to mention is that every time you lose, you have to sit through the entire freaking cutscene all over again. Which makes, like, first you have to wait like a moron for 10 seconds for that "it's me" screen and stuff. And then you have to watch the cutscene all over again, which is like 10 seconds long. Making every single attempt even more frustrating. Yeah, after so much suffering, I was so ready. You see, he went haywire for literally half a second, and I didn't have time to even look at him. I was so close to just give up entirely, just throw the towel, and never play this crap again. Yeah, I bothered it to see how battery I had left. Finally. There's so much pain, I finally did it. See this, why isn't there like a way to skip this cutscene? I don't know why. Wouldn't it be too hard to be able to skip the cutscene and to skip also the 10 seconds long one for no reason? Yeah, static all over the screen. Moving fast footsteps, which means he's either imitating Mangle or Blur. Okay, whatever. I don't know what happened there. He was imitating Mangle. You can shock him instead of putting the mask on. I don't know how this works. Even after beating it, I still have no idea. The pooping sound. That was still Freddy. And I'm surprised he didn't do a fake out. Like, he decloaked it the first time. And just like when I said Freddy's 2 Golden Freddy mode, it's also very log dependent. Like, you have, to win this, you have to both be very good, understand every single mechanic, and also be extremely lucky. You know, it's like almost every Final Freddy's game, it's really not that different. You need luck to win. I mean, is it really a surprise at this point they need luck to win? I don't think so. We'll just have to hear the footsteps. Yeah, once the static becomes very loud, it's finally shocked him. Yeah, look how much my screen was shaking. You can see how happy I was from beating this. And there's a final cutscene after beating it. Ooh, audio glitches. And yeah, that's it. That's the entirety of the DLC. Now, the start with the puzzles, that was pretty fun. The Golden Freddy boss battle, not fun. Not fun at all. Yeah, those are the rewards you get from beating it. Yeah, I really wouldn't say it's worth it. I mean, the Golden Freddy CPU is pretty cool, I guess. You know, you can use that Golden Freddy, like Escape Golden Freddy profile picture to, you know, just flex on people. You know, I beat the DLC, idiots. Yeah, it was really frustrating. I'm never playing the DLC again. If it was just the puzzles, it would be a great DLC. It's just the boss battle is it's too much. It's way too freaking much for my sanity to take on.